What's up, everybody? I am doing another Flume song. It's been a while. It's been like, I don't know, a month or two maybe since I've done a Flume song. I just kind of got away from it. But I've been trying to go through the whole album, the whole Palaces album, and review all the videos. So I'm back to it. We're doing DHLC by Flume from Palaces, and we'll get into it in just a second. But before we do, two things. I'm not a professional. I am not a professional vocal coach, music reviewer, any of that. All right, I'm just a guy who likes music. I am a little partial to Flume because when I was a kid, I lived in Australia. Got the Australian flag there behind me, next to my Chicago Cubs World Series champions flag. One of the better moments of my life. So I'm partial. All right, but look, I'm not a professional. I just do this for fun. Part two is don't be a dick. I try really hard to be respectful of the artists, of the fan base, of the people who are involved. And I would just ask that you give me that in return. You don't have to like me. You don't have to like my reviews. You don't have to like my opinions. That's all fine. But let's just try to keep it 100. Okay. I got my coffee. I'm out of whole milk, so this is really just an espresso shot with some creamer in it. But yeah, it is what it is. Have to go to the store, and I'll do that later today. In the meantime, let's get right into it. This is DHLC by Flume. I could listen to that for like probably an album's worth of time. One of the things I like about Flume, and I've noticed this in multiple albums, he has this ability to take really like discordant, arrhythmic, right? Introductions to songs. Sometimes 30 seconds worth of the song is just this like glitchy, out of sync, not really musical, difficult to follow, sort of music. I've mentioned this recently. I was talking about Born of Osiris recently, but with like abstract art and Bowed Down, Empires Erased, right? The early stuff. The beginnings of those songs would be just like brutal heavy, but with no real feel of rhythm to them, right? They'd be super heavy, super aggressive, but you couldn't find a place to tap your toes, right? You know, if you were watching the video, you saw me nodding my head, right? Keeping time, feeling the beat. With that early Born of Osiris stuff at the beginning of the song, maybe I'll do a Born of Osiris song just to demonstrate this, but you don't feel that rhythm. You can't find it. And it takes like a minute. Often it takes like 45 seconds to a minute. And then by the back half of the song, they hit this groove where it all starts to make sense, right? And FLUME does that as well. He will start with this sort of discordant, sort of just like glitchy, staticky, you know, not even musical sounds necessarily, like bottles clinking and stuff like that kind of sounds. And then it will gradually start to make sense as he brings in other instrumentation, as he adds in layers, it will resolve. And then all of a sudden you can find it, right? You can find the rhythm, you can find the groove. I really, really like that about how he makes music. I think it's really cool. I don't think a lot of artists really do that. I definitely think it's interesting when I see it. I also like, you know, this whole album, Palaces, all of the visuals. I don't want to get too much into it because I don't know all of the backstory, all of why he's doing what he's doing. But there's a lot of discussion of like commodification and gratification culture. You know, on the bike, right? For those of you who don't understand how bike racing works, it's basically the same as car racing, where you get sponsors, right? So he's being sponsored by Vasectomax and Vaginacan and, you know, all these like really like particularly sexual, right? I mean, a lot of this stuff is sexual based, right? I don't know if it's commentary on the oversaturation of pornography or what. You know, maybe the dehumanization of people, turning them more into sex objects than human beings. I don't know exactly where he's wanting to go with it. But I do know that that's a theme, right? That comes up in all of these videos. All the birds, you know, that you see in the videos, a lot of environmental stuff. And I like that. I respect that. I think that it's cool that he's trying to make a point, right? He is really hammering on this stuff. Every video that I have seen, this stuff is in there. You know, the charts and graphs of population and income and stuff. It's just, he really wants to get his point across. And I respect that. I really do. I think it's admirable. The visuals on this are great. I mean, it's pretty much just a guy riding a motorcycle around a track, right? But it's the shifting colors and the oil slick and the visual design of all of these videos has been so beautiful. I'm such a fan of, you know, the aesthetic that he has put together for these, for this album cycle. I really want to see him live. I really want to find a FLUME show, and I don't know when there will be one in my area or one that I can even make it to, because I'm probably not going to be able to get to one in my area because my area does not get much. But I'm going to have to make it out and see one of his shows when he's playing this stuff, because I got to imagine the visuals on the big screens with the lasers and all of that. It'd be phenomenal. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot like to get into on this other than what I've already said. It's a great song. It's very short. You know, there's no lyrics. It's just a couple minutes of just really nice, enjoyable electronic music. I really like this one. Have a good day, everybody. Have a good eye, everybody. Australia. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, you know, if you're so inclined. You're certainly not required to do so. Leave me a comment if you want to. I'm happy to read them. I try to respond to the vast majority of comments that I think at least like require a response. Have a good day. Stay safe out there. Drink lots of water. And don't talk to cops.